Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Hyperfixation, the podcast, your weekly deep dive into the niche and the eccentric. I'm joined by Bronte again today. Hello, Bronte.
Hello, Noah.
And we are talking The Mandalorian and Grogu.
As we should be.
As we should be, this is the way. It's been a hot little minute since we dipped into the Mandoverse. The last season aired, what was it, 2023?
I think so.
Yeah, a few years ago. And it's lovely to see our favorite adoptee and bounty hunter mercenary do their thing on the big screen. It was nice to see Star Wars back in cinemas.
It sure was.
What was your previous Star Wars cinema experience? I guess it was The Rise of Skywalker.
It must have been The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, no, we saw the original trilogy. We did the original trilogy as a marathon.
Oh, that's true. That was probably, that was just out of COVID.
Just out of COVID.
Yeah.
We're going to start this with non-spoiler talk. We're going to just talk about our general thoughts about the movie and general performance stuff, and then we might talk about spoilers later on. So we watched it. It was opening night, was it not? How did you like the movie, Bronte?
I liked the movie, Noah. Did you like the movie?
I indeed liked the movie. Look, it's not going to change any lives or anything. It's not going to, change people with the power of cinema, but it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I'd give it like a solid, sorry, we might be skipping to this too early, but I'd give it like a solid like 3.5 stars.
Oh.
Sorry, why is that shocked you?
I don't know, that seems kind of low.
Oh, does it? What would you give it?
I love The Mandalorian.
Yeah, we both love The Mandalorian.
Like a good 4.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
4.5. I loved that movie.
Yeah, okay. I loved a lot of things in it. I think my main takeaway was that I walked away going, gee, my 8-year-old self would have bloody loved this movie.
Yes, yeah.
And I loved it still as, a 28-year-old.
Yes.
But it hit me. It was emotional. It was fun. But look, I think it's a perfect sick day movie. If you're feeling unwell, if you're out for the count, chuck on The Mandalorian and Grogu. It's just a fun movie. Was there anything that surprised you about the movie? Like you walked away, I didn't expect to feel.
I didn't expect to feel, and I know that you had the same unexpected experience. I didn't expect to feel as excited about Sigourney Weaver in an X-Wing because we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, look, we saw her in the X-Wing pilot suit very early on.
We did, yeah.
In promotional material, so we knew she was going to be in it. But seeing her in the cockpit of an X-Wing, pretty sick.
It was exciting.
Let's talk about figures because it's been after the first weekend. We're recording this on a Monday after opening weekend for Mando. So we can sort of talk about online reaction. We can talk about financially how it's gone. So opening weekend, domestically, it opened to about 82 million.
As in domestically in the United States.
For the United States. And worldwide, it's so far done apparently 165 million. So it's a pretty ordinary start, especially in terms of a post-COVID theater-going audience. It falls a bit behind Solo. Solo, I think, did 86 million domestic opening, but so it's a little bit behind that. But it's one of those ones that has word of mouth going for it.
Yes.
So I think people are just gonna keep watching it and keep watching it. Like a bit like Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary was, I had a similar experience, as in I went and saw it and then I told everyone that I knew that they needed to go and see it.
Yeah. So I think it's going to have it's going to have a broader appeal to it. And look, I mean, Disney are doing fine for money, but it would be nice to see more Star Wars films get greenlit.
I think also though, cinema is not the event experience that it used to be. It used to be that you had to go when it came out. That was a thing.
Yeah.
And now that's not really a thing. People don't like the general public. People who are like intense about Star Wars are gonna do that.
They're going to dress up
but
and
the
go.
general public are not gonna have to go the weekend it opens.
I know when we went to the screening, there wasn't actually very many people dressed up. It was a pretty full cinema.
Yeah.
Like, but there was one gentleman dressed as Boba Fett.
I didn't see him.
Oh, did you know? He was in the foyer.
Nope,
Somehow
I did
it
not
seems
see
like
that
he
guy.
was leaving, so maybe he was in the previous
He got to an
session.
earlier session.
But what I'll say is that actually that is the worst outfit. The Mandalorian outfit is the worst outfit to wear to a cinema.
You couldn't sit in that for 2 hours.
Well, it's not only that, but he had the jetpack on, so he can't sit down. And with the helmet on, you can't see anything. So it actually is
If he was
the
Boba-
worst thing.
But if he was Boba Fett, he could have taken his helmet off.
Oh, I guess he could have. Bloody... It might have been Tim Morrison, actually. The
It
gentleman
probably was.
very small.
It was probably Tam himself.
So I'm going to look at Rotten Tomatoes because the audience score, it's gotten a wafty 89% on the popcornometer, which Disney have been flying the flag of. And the tomato meter, it's been given a 62,
Okay.
which is low for Star Wars movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Rise, just to compare it to the other ones, I think Rise of Skywalker has the worst tomato score. And obviously, like, Rotten Tomatoes is not the be-all and end-all of movie criticism. I'm sure there's some wonderful Letterboxd reviews out about Mando and Grogu.
It's getting slammed on Letterboxd.
Is it really? Do you what have people said? Do you know?
I think, and this argument is bothering me a little bit. But people are basically saying that like nothing happens in the movie, and so therefore 2 stars.
I mean, that's just not true.
Well, it is not true, and I also think that we're really okay. Maybe my standards are low, but I think that a film with a coherent plot, especially in Star Wars, a plot that is like true to the characters that
Yes.
it's servicing, and a plot that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's nothing to sneeze at.
No, and clear character arcs.
Yeah.
You know, and just a journey and
Yeah.
an adventure. Like, it's not telling this massive political soap opera that, say, the prequels do, right?
Sure.
Or a romance or anything. It is just telling a story from the perspective of 2 characters.
Yes.
The Mandalorian and Grogu,
Yeah.
right? And it's fun. You know, it's set in this time period. Look, I think it's really good for casual audiences as well, who haven't watched the show, don't really like Star Wars. Again, my 8-year-old self walking in and seeing, you know.
Your 8-year-old self did like Star Wars.
I know, but like seeing it as going to the cinema and seeing Star Wars
Yes.
is a different thing.
Oh, yeah.
Than watching the shows or watching it on home media. Like when we first saw Star Wars in the cinemas, I guess it was Phantom Menace.
Well,
Was the first one we saw in cinemas.
you wouldn't have seen the Phantom Menace in cinemas.
I don't know. I've got maybe I've got memories of the home media releases,
Yeah.
but I
think Attack of the Clones must have been the first one
Oh,
because the thing is,
poo.
I
what
would
a
have
kick in the
only
pants.
I would have only been 5 years old when the Phantom Menace came out.
Look, can I say as well, The Mandalorian and Grogu has the same Rotten Tomato score as Attack of the Clones on here.
That's extremely offensive.
Which
I'm
is
sorry.
ridiculous.
I'm sorry, but that's obscene.
Yeah, it is. It is not as. It's not any like the Attack of the Clones is poo. I'm sorry, it's poo. Everyone is having a miserable time making that. Ewan McGregor is about the only thing that saves it, and even he is struggling because he's acting to green screen or blue screen most of the time. Like Attack of the Clones just.
It's just a terrible movie. Like let's be real.
And as a plot, nothing happens.
And nothing makes sense.
No, so
It's not coherent. Like I do feel that is the bare minimum. Like I do think that films should have a coherent plot, but many of them do not have a coherent plot.
No. Oh, especially the Star Wars movies.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Like Rise of Skywalker has a great moments in it. It's a lot of fun, but as a plot, gee
Horrifying
whiz.
stuff. But and I wonder how much of people's experience of this movie is clouded by the fact that we all just went and had our lives changed by Project Hail Mary. This movie is not making sweeping statements about humanity.
Yeah.
It's not about saving the earth from its destruction.
No.
It's a much smaller story.
Yes, it is about a dude and his green baby.
That's it.
Yeah, and look, so I think maybe like because obviously there's a lot of comparisons to be made between this and Project Hail Mary because of the main puppet star of the film.
Sure.
And this is the year of the puppets.
It
We can
is.
confirm we've had Project Hail Mary, The Muppet Show reboot, and now this, and surely more to come. Muppets are all over the place as well because of they've got this new ride at Disneyland.
Yes.
They've taken over the Aerosmith
Oh, have they?
rock and roll coaster, and it's Electric
Oh,
Mayhem
that's
instead.
exciting.
And they've done a whole lot of really cool stuff. Actually, this is a real tangent, but they've got Scooter
Yeah.
in like the waiting area reception.
Yeah.
And what they've done is they mocapped the puppet, somebody doing the puppet,
Okay.
and then programmed that into the animatronics. So it looks
Like a puppet.
like it's a real puppet, like it's float. You know how they sort of float, obviously,
Yeah.
because it's a hand suspended above them. It's just floating. Yeah, and really cool
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, it is the. I mean, they took the puppet on the press tour.
Thank you for taking this episode back on track. Yes, Grogu has been everywhere, as has Pedro.
Yeah, so it's the year of the puppet. It is. And so I do wonder how much of people's experience of this movie is like, we just all went and saw Project Hail Mary and cried for 2 hours straight.
Yeah,
in
and
the
wanted to see
theater.
it 3 more times in
Yeah,
cinemas.
yeah. But it's a different movie. It's not
It's
like
a very different movie. And look, it is basically the Goonies and Muppets in space.
yeah.
And there is nothing wrong
There's
with
nothing
that.
wrong with that. And I think what I'm seeing, particularly on Letterboxd, is people saying, "Oh, like nothing happens. They just like, you know, have an adventure." And I'm like, but it's an adventure film.
Oh, Star
like, I'm
Wars
sorry,
should
but
die.
like you could argue that nothing happens in Raiders of the Lost Ark. It doesn't make
Yeah,
it like
Indy
an
doesn't-
invalid film.
Indy doesn't in apparent. Well, there's
Indy
this
just
thing.
goes on an adventure. Oh
Indy
no.
doesn't affect the plot of Raiders. I'm sure you've seen that. That sort of fan, not theory, but fan observation that Indiana Jones doesn't directly affect anything in the main plot of Raiders. If he was not there, everything
It
would have
would happen
happened exactly the same way.
It's true.
Except the Ark would never have made it back to America.
Yeah.
That's
then
the only thing.
That's exactly right.
Which
but
is the epilogue anyway. But in the
but-
main plot,
arguably that's like a negative impact that he's had. Like, I feel like the Ark would have been better being abandoned in some random place.
Then ending up in that bloody warehouse from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Also, like, less people probably would have died. He wouldn't have just killed all of these native people
Yeah.
of different
No,
countries on the
exactly.
way through.
I do want to make it extremely clear that like Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite movie.
Oh.
So, like, I'm not having a go at Raiders of the Lost
No.
Ark. I'm just saying that I think that they set out, they've been very clear that they set out to make this movie that was like a movie they saw when they were little
They wanted
kids
to
in
make
the
Star
80s.
Wars.
And so that's what they did.
Yeah. Look, people are saying, oh, Star Wars should die, or Star Wars, blah, blah. It doesn't do. Sorry, have you not seen a Star Wars movie? Like, it's not like the original film, right?
Not a great film. Let's be
Pants.
real.
Pants. But the love that people have and we have for it,
Yeah.
like Empire, like an amazing
Excellent
movie.
film. Yeah.
Like critically,
Things happen in that movie. People are making statements about things. It's true.
It's
It's
such
a great movie.
amazing movie, right? Return of the Jedi, I would say return to form. It's a little pants, but it's great. I know Return of the Jedi
It's
is your
my favorite movie.
It's your Bronte's favorite Star Wars from Return of the Jedi, and I respect that opinion. I will say, like, it is not the film that Empire is in any way, and I don't think you would disagree with that.
I don't disagree
I
with that.
get why you love it. But like obviously it's a bit more of the camp fun.
It's because
that
of
we had.
Yub Nub.
No, I love Yub Nub, and they've taken it out. It's
No,
not
I'm
in the
saying
special
that's why I
edition.
love it.
Oh, you love it because of
Yeah.
Yub Nub. You're
Yeah.
a purist in that
Yeah.
way. But back to Mando and Grogu. So like it's had a mixed reception, a critical reception.
It was always going to.
IMDb has given it 8.6 out of 10.
Oh.
So like I feel like nobody can quite make their minds up.
No.
But I just feel like it's a feel-good movie and everything is really bleak and depressing
In the real world.
in every aspect of
Yeah.
life at the moment.
I want to go to the movies and have a nice time.
Yeah. Is that too much?
Is that too much to ask?
Is that too much, Donald Trump?
Like, I really just want, like, to look at the Anzellans running around.
Yeah, there was a lot of Anzellin in this movie.
There was.
They were like, oh, remember how they became like this part of season 3? Let's make them half the movie.
They are one of, okay, this is a tangent, but they are one of my favorite Star Wars, like, species.
Really?
Yeah, they have been ever since. Babu Frick really, like, captured my heart. And like...
I'm going to have to rewatch episode 9 because there is some magic in there.
He is, like, one of the funniest characters in the entire
Babu
franchise.
Frick. Yeah.
Babu Frick. He's, like, so funny.
And there's a lot of nice little details in this movie as well. I mean, Grogu is top tier Star Wars characters, I think we'll say. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have been really open about how they've been consciously aging him up, and Grogu has become their reason for Star Wars, right? It's like he is the creative vision for Grogu is what's keeping them going in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But one thing that's really obvious is how they're aging him up. So I watched like a little bit of season 1.
So did I the other day,
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
and it was really like, oh, he's like a little baby.
He is a baby.
Yeah.
He is like gurgling and he can barely walk, and he's like, he's really young in this. And he's not quite aged up in season 2, but then Book of Boba Fett, after he's done all the training with Luke, I would say he's more of a toddler.
Yep.
Like he's a bit more independent. He's aged up a bit. In this, I'd say he's a young kid.
Yeah.
He is aged up again. He still has a lot of his, he's still the same character, but they've aged him up. He's reacting more, like he's laughing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a little scene where I won't spoil it yet, a little scene where he's on a beach and he's running around and laughing
playing in the
and
water
playing
and
in the
stuff.
water. And I'm like, oh, this is really nice the way they're sort of, and like this is a bit of a coming of age movie as well in some ways in terms of his journey.
Yeah, it is.
Look, I think we get straight into spoilers.
Okay. I was just going to say that I feel like it's nice of you to like not want to spoil things. However, I feel like my complaint about this entire process is how much was revealed in footage and clips and the trailers that came out before the movie was released.
They have released most of the movie in promotional material. And look, with the amount of press they're doing, the amount they've got that bloody puppet out and about, it's really clear that Disney have put every single ounce of marketing creativity into trying to sell this movie, into trying to get people to go, which reeks of desperation in a way that seems so just alien in terms of like, terms of Disney, like they're having to fight to get people to see a Star Wars movie. It seems crazy to me.
But you genuinely do this is such a tangent, but you do have to fight to get people to go to the movies.
These days,
we
yeah.
were just talking about Project Hail Mary, right? Like one of the best films of the 21st century, right? I would say.
Yeah, no, it was great. I love.
And I had to argue with people, and I don't mean random strangers on the street. I mean people who know me and who value my opinion on things. And I'm like, no, you have to. And they'll be like, oh, just wait till it comes. And I'm like, no, don't wait until it comes
See
out
it in a
on
movie.
friggin' Netflix. You need to go to the movie theater and watch it on the big screen.
And look, as much as it's like you see a clip of Harrison Ford going, you need to be in a room with a million strangers looking at a screen in the dark. Like, there's that, which, yes, he's right.
He's not wrong.
I
would like to ask when the last time he went to a public movie theater was.
Well, when he could have. Maybe he does.
Maybe he does.
And just goes,
wears a hat. Oh, no, that wouldn't help.
Well, I know Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man No Way Home. Obviously, they couldn't go to any of the premieres or anything.
Yeah, of course.
But they went together
to the movies.
But it was during COVID, so they both wore a baseball cap and a mask, and they were
Cute.
fine. And they both sat in and watched it.
Adorable.
And it's like, that's kind of sick. That's awesome. As an experience. And look, let's get into spoilers. And we're also going to be talking about Maul, Shadow Lord, in this episode. Well, it's the end of Star Wars month for us.
Tragically.
And it was marked with Maul, Shadow Lord, and the finale was on May 4th. And Mando and Grogu, and we'll do a bit of a Star Wars wrap up as well. We'll talk about Star Wars Fortnite, because back to them revealing everything, Pedro Pascal's face, right, being in it.
We already know what he looks like.
Like, I get they needed to show a bit of him to sell the movie.
Yep, because
And to get people to go.
because of season 3. Like, if they'd have set up, and I'm not saying they should have. This is a tangent, but like, I think that they needed to in season 3 be like, actually, we're not doing this like face reveal every single season. We're
they
not setting
did.
up that
Yeah,
pattern,
yeah.
right? So, and I'm glad that they made that call for season 3. But what it meant was that then everyone was like, well, he's like not even in it, and so I think they had to kind of wanted to desperately prove that he was in this movie.
Yeah.
Which is like, I understand, because I think that if people thought that he wasn't, then that would have further like reduced the people going to see the movie.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And I think it would have been nice for them to allude to it more.
We are capable of subtlety as a species.
Yes. Look, that being said, they are trying to sell a Star Wars movie, which
Yeah.
again, subtlety and nuance are little gems that are very gingerly sprinkled throughout the movie in a lovely way. But yeah, look, I get that they need to sell the movie, but seeing so much of Pedro Pascal's face in the trailers really annoyed me and really ruined it for me, because it is, when you see his face, so that we could talk about spoilers.
Yeah.
So the Hutts, who are the big bads of the film, the twins, who are, I think they're cousins of Jabba or something. They're just part of the Hutt family.
Yeah, they're his cousins.
And they unmask him. And then he says, well, I can get around having to dip back in those bloody waters on Mandalore by just killing you all.
He's just like
was a
really
cool
good
line.
at finding a loophole. Like, he's like, oh,
Who, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau?
no, Din Djarin.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like it's them going, oh, gee whiz, how can we... Studio wants us to get Pedro in this one. Look, it annoyed me because basically in the trailer, you see all of the shots of him with his helmet off. I'm not kidding.
No. Yeah,
No.
because
They-
the rest of it is a fight scene, which
Yeah.
is also him, but like it's a fight scene, so it's not.
And that's one thing we both remarked upon was it was so nice seeing Pedro in the suit doing like fight stuff.
Doing something.
Yeah. Because, like, for those of you who don't know, The Mandalorian has been very publicly acknowledged as a collaborative process between Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, as well as Pedro, and also the two other performers, Brenton Wayne, who is referred to as like a stunt performer, and then Lateef Crowder is like a stunt movement coordinator or
So
something.
in the movie,
Yeah.
Brendan Wayne was credited as Mandalorian suit performer.
Suit performer and stunt
And-
performer.
No, it just said Mandalorian suit
Oh,
performer.
no, sorry. And Lateef
And
was
Lateef Crowder was Mandalorian stunt performer.
Yeah, which, is pretty fair. And I saw a thing with Pedro saying that Brendan Wayne was brought on before him, like from the first day, because he had worked with Jon Favreau on Cowboys and Aliens.
Yes.
Which also is on our Letterboxd watch list because you've never seen it.
Correct.
And it's like Harrison Ford and Daniel Craig fighting aliens and
Yeah.
as cowboys.
It's inexplicable that I haven't seen this movie, but
Look, it's a campy, fun,
Inconceivable.
hot mess. And, like, it takes itself a bit too seriously, in my opinion.
Jon Favreau is a very like earnest filmmaker.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like, I feel he sets out a brief and, like, he clearly works really well with studios. And I think it was in that era of film, this is a real tangent again, folks. It was in that era of film where it was just after The Dark Knight, so everything had to be so serious and gritty and color graded to look like it had come out of a gravel pit. And it just, like, they should have high camped it. And I think there are elements of that, but clearly it was, like, squashed from the other end. It was just the style at the time. So it could have been amazing. Because it's got all the ingredients to be just a ridiculous fun. Sam Rockwell's in it as well. As like the bartender, the humble bartender.
Sam Rockwell is arguably my favorite actor.
It could be. He could be. I think he's everyone's sort of secret
Yeah.
favorite. Other than like Kermit the Frog. Like I feel he falls into a similar category.
But Kermit the Frog, like, he's a personality. He's not just an
Well,
Not that
exactly.
Sam
He's
Rockwell's
both.
just an actor,
He's
but-
both. He's like Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mando and Grogu are hunting down Imperial scum and killing them on different planets.
This is true. Sorry, to be clear, I don't think they're supposed to be killing them.
Well, I feel it's a
think that-
very much a dead or alive situation.
I think it is technically, but I think that Din doesn't take any notice of the or alive part.
Yeah, I think. Oh, look, I mean, they make it very clear just a situation they enter into, it just becomes a massive mess.
Things tend to go pear-shaped around them.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly. And look, okay, can I say my biggest complaint about the movie? It did not open with a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
This was an issue.
Massive. It's a Star Wars movie. You start it with a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I'm not expecting a title crawl. I didn't think it was a title. Like, I thought what they did was great with the titles and everything. But it needed a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. You need to set it. You need to say like, hey, it's the storybook thing.
Yes. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did Solo have... I'm asking out of interest.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Okay.
I think every Star Wars film has done a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Interesting. I wonder what the choice was, like why they didn't do it.
I think they just forgot the file. They forgot the PNG.
I'm not sure that they would have forgotten that.
Oh, I don't know. Like, it's just like, it's been a long time since they've done a Star Wars movie, to
That's
be fair.
true.
They're probably just wanting to set it apart from
Yeah.
other things. And they're just, this is its own thing. And they're also like, they wanted to do their own little title card intro, which is like, Mando and Grogu are causing a ruckus on a planet. Right?
And like
Cool, man.
the rebel commander is annoyed at them, but oddly endeared to them both, as everyone immediately becomes.
Yes, because that green thing is very cute.
Yeah.
And that's basically the film. Din gets himself into a mess, and Grogu is cute. Look, it's not high art. It's a Star Wars movie. See, this is why I don't get why people are like angry or annoyed
No,
about it. It's
these
like
people need to
they're going
watch-
in going, gee, not my cinema. It's a Star Wars movie.
These people need to
Get
go back and
real.
watch A New Hope.
Bloody live a little.
Yeah. Have a nice time. Try having fun.
Yes, it's like, sorry, there are a lot of things you can be angry about, especially in terms of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Just be mad at Attack of the Clones like a normal person. Or The Last Jedi.
Exactly.
Which,
There
can
was-
I say, The Last Jedi on this has bloody 91%.
That's outrageous. Can I say something that I really, really, really appreciated about this movie?
Yes. Sorry, for those wondering, we've got a massive poster.
Oh, I forgot this was a podcast.
No, that's all right.
I appreciated, this is a spoiler.
Yeah, no, we're in spoiler territory.
Okay.
Don't you worry. Warning's gone up.
I appreciated that it was completely self-contained and there was no like legacy stuff at all.
Yes.
There was no John Williams. There was no like random,
There was not
like-
a lick of John
no
Williams in
no
this.
Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, the Falcon
no
didn't show up at
Yoda,
the end.
and,
No
like,
Chewie.
As much as I would have loved that if it had happened, I really appreciate that they very deliberately were like, this is its own thing.
Yeah. Like, because I thought, I mean, it looks like Grogu had Yoda's stick
Yeah.
in the trailers.
It
It's
was
just
just
a
a
stick.
stick.
See? And it was great. And pretty much every character was new.
It was like
Look,
a species-specific behavior.
Oh, 100%. There was a lot of love for the Clone Wars. Look, there were a lot of nods and references and things, but nothing that was like,
And obviously, like, Zeb Aurelius is in it.
yes, Zeb from
Is that
Star
his
Wars
name?
Rebels. Yeah, that was great. And he was great.
Yeah, but he was the only...
And Embo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the
Oh,
twins.
and like the Hutts, obviously.
And the Hutts and the twins
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Rotar. So it's all stuff from the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
basically, and which hasn't been seen in live action.
Mm.
And so it was cool for, I guess, for people who grew up with the Clone
Mm.
Wars to see a lot of that stuff. And like, it was cool as a Clone Wars fan to see that. But, it's nothing that really impacted the movie or the
No.
plot. And it was great. The snake. So it's in all the trailers. And they shouldn't have put it in any of the trailers.
No.
The dragon, they called it a dragon snake. It's got a dumb name,
They
didn't
did
it?
call it a dragon snake.
How stupid. Like, I'm not expecting everything to have a dumb Star Wars name, like a flib-flob with 3 apostrophes.
Yeah, but I think it should have been called a flib-flob with 3 apostrophes. It
Yeah.
would have been better.
Oh, the dragon snake.
Come
it's like,
on.
come on, John.
They should have just run it through one of those like Star Wars alien name
yeah.
generators.
Like, like we all know what he's talking. Were they like, oh, the audience is going to be too dumb to figure out what he's talking about, so call it the dragon snake. They'll figure it out. I don't know why they didn't go for a Star Warsy name.
No.
Like an ancient mythological, because it's a cool creature.
Yeah, it's really
It's
cool.
a cool design. So it has appeared in Star Wars before.
Has it?
It's been in Clone Wars, but also apparently it's the thing. Well, like a version of it, like an offshoot species of it, is what eats R2 in Empire in
On
the
Dagobah?
swamp and spits him out. Yeah, apparently it's the same creature,
Oh, okay. But
which is cool.
that's cool. Who were those other guys?
Oh yes. So there were these like frogmen, cobra, reptilian kind of
They look like a
jobbies.
Doctor Who villain,
They
actually.
were a bit Doctor Who. I recognize them from the Clone Wars. I think because there's a Clone Wars arc where they go to Nal Hutta, and that's our first time seeing Nal Hutta. Also, really cool to see like Homeworld. Also, that the twins' palace, and I think this is in Clone Wars as well, is the same design as Jabba's palace, but it's all swamp
Yeah.
infested and half organic.
It
Really
was
cool.
really cool design, actually.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And a great set piece, you know, and obviously it's in the beginning of the movie and also it's in the climax. Also, like, how difficult is it to disarm Din Djarin? Because it happens twice in the movie where he gets quote-unquote captured and disarmed. But, like, how can you disarm a Mando? Like,
Well, okay.
the whistling birds, like, do you have to get a pair of tweezers and pluck them out of his little gauntlet? You have to empty out his bloody petrol canister for his stupid flamethrower?
Yeah, like they spent time taking every piece of like weaponry off of him.
Yeah,
He was unconscious at the time.
both times.
Yeah.
And also, sorry, that's a bit Doctor Who-y as well. Oh no, he's been captured again.
No,
Quick.
it's very Mandalorian. Din Djarin,
Very
like,
Western.
he always is concussed.
Yeah.
Like, he cannot get through a season of his show or a film, as it turns out, without sustaining like a significant concussion.
Yeah, that's very true.
I can get behind the helmet thing because he hits his head all the
Oh,
time.
so many times. Can I ask, and I don't want to poke too many holes in this movie because it's great, fun, but wafer thin, right? How is he affected by the sleep gas on Shakara?
Okay, so I can explain this actually.
Oh, I was not expecting that.
So in season 3, when he gets to Mandalore
Yes,
and he sends out R5,
yes,
and then R5 disappears, and Grogu's like feeling quite anxious about that, and Din's like, ugh, I'll go get him. He engages a seal on his helmet
yes,
and gets out.
yes.
So it stands to reason that his seal was not engaged because it wouldn't normally be engaged.
Yes.
Because it would just be like, I don't know how it would work, but it would probably be uncomfortable.
So that begs the question, why didn't he just go, seal engaged?
Well, I don't think he had time. He was stressed about Grogu. Like, I think
Yeah,
it
okay,
went
fair enough.
straight in,
Yeah.
and he was like, oh, damn. And then his
yeah.
priority was telling Grogu he had to get out.
See, this is the problem with characters that are a bit OP, especially Mando. Like, he's got the jetpack, he's got so much gear that he can actually fight it, and he's such an amazing fighter and combatant that he can actually get himself out of every scenario. But there has to be something dumb that he does or something dumb that happens that prevents him from winning.
They created the character, and then they were like, oh, he's so OP.
Well, no,
what are
they
we going to
created
do?
the character.
And then they were like, we have to make him dumb.
Well, they created the character, Bronte, and then in over the course of season 1, gave him everything.
Yeah, but he's
And then they blew up his slow ship and gave him the fastest ship in the galaxy.
But he's dumb.
And then they gave him his old ship back.
But he's dumb.
Yeah, he is dumb. Goodness gracious. But like he's also wearing like impenetrable armor.
Yeah.
And can also do anything. Like, anyway, look, I love Mando. I love him as a character, but yeah, he's a bit OP. Which isn't a bad
But
thing.
I feel like that's the whole thing though, because his weaknesses are,
Yeah.
1, he's a bit of a dummy, and 2, the baby. Like, the
Yes.
reason he didn't seal his helmet in time was because he was like, where's the
Yeah,
baby gone?
Yeah, look, that's a valid point. I'll give you that one.
And that's the whole point.
Yeah. It's this little fleshy green creature is his weakness.
Yeah.
So, look, Rotter the Hutt, obviously, is kind of the supporting character.
I love him.
And he's great.
Yeah.
Jeremy Allen White has done it. There's not been any behind the scenes or anything that's come out. He spoke a little bit about it on Graham Norton, I think, that he's like, oh, I'm doing it and I'm playing Jabba the Hutt's son. And everyone's like, what the hell do you mean? And he's like, I can't tell you, so see the movie. And I'd love to see some behind the scenes of him. For me, like one of the weaknesses of this movie is Act 1. After they do the prologue, which is a bit of an Empire Strikes Back callback, it's really great. Love it. Great opening. Title credits. They land. Sigourney Weaver gives Mando and Grogu the mission. And she's great. Sigourney Weaver's great. It's lovely seeing her in this.
It goes without saying.
It goes without saying. It's great. And then they go to Shakira. No, it's not Shakira. Shakara.
Shikari.
Oh, Shikari?
Yep.
It's Chicago, New York, in space.
Yep.
This is one thing I mentioned to you already, but Doug Chiang, who is the production designer on this and also was the production designer on a lot of the Disney shows and also the prequels. I remember there was a great little featurette on him when they brought back the N1 Starfighter.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, because he designed the original and
Yeah.
they were bringing it back and he's like, it actually is really cool to see it sort of reimagined as like this vintage hot rod kind of thing. Anyway, really cool. And he says that Star Wars aesthetically should be like 85% real world and then 15%
Space.
that unidentifiable Star Wars-y quality where it's just a bit like it's like mechanical but worn and beaten and unclean and just like, you know, that thing. And you know, like you can see it in like Han Solo's blaster, for instance, or like Mando's blaster. It is a real gun with a scope and a sink plunger put at the end.
I feel like his Skechers boots are the best example of that.
Oh, well, exactly. Exactly. He's got this bloody chrome armor and he's wearing Skechers. Love him. But anyway, the production design's great here, obviously. Everything looks great.
And kind of interesting and different as well.
It has a great color palette as well. It's vibrant, like, and also like all these bloody Star Wars haters are all these idiots who liked The Last Jedi, when literally nothing happens in it. The characters end up at the same position they're in at the beginning.
Except
Nothing
that
has
the
changed.
characters have been assassinated.
Yeah, except Luke has died, and some would argue he dies at the beginning of the movie because he's not bloody. in
I
it.
died at the beginning of the movie.
I'm so annoyed with people who say, "Oh, it's a cinematic revelation. It's such a great movie." Nothing happens in it. The characters are not changed by the end of it. Like they don't go through anything. No. They break the lightsaber. They kill Snoke, and it means nothing because we don't know who he is or his relevance or importance to Ben, really, or to anyone. Sorry, I really don't like The Last Jedi, and every time I think of it and watch it, it makes me more mad.
Hey, Noah.
Yes?
What about the Holdo maneuver?
The Holdo maneuver is cool, and it's a good exploration of that of the light speed thing in Star Wars and what happens when you don't calculate it properly.
Yeah.
That's
true,
really
because
cool.
that's in the first, this is a tangent, but that's in the first movie. Like, Han's like, can you stop messing around? I need to do this properly or we'll
It's
blow
quite
up.
an intense calculation, Luke. Shut the hell up, please. But why does Laura Dern have that stupid wig on?
I'm sorry, I totally rage baited you there.
You did? Look, okay, you can come at me in the comments. Go for it. Go nuts. The Last Jedi sucks. I'm not saying The Rise of Skywalker is any better. It is a different movie.
At least The
and it
Rise
has
of
its
Skywalker.
shortfalls.
At least The Rise of Skywalker is a Star Wars movie.
Look, I would say The Last Jedi, one of its main sins is that it's really dull. Right? Because you go, well, this isn't Luke Skywalker. And, like, it's funny, but not the same style of comedy. It's Rian Johnson funny, and his comedy is funny, but it's not Star Wars comedy. Anyway, it's just not a Star Wars movie either. And as a movie, the characters aren't affected. So as the middle act of a trilogy fails on all accounts anyway, this is getting trimmed down and cut. Like,
That's okay.
but Mando and Grogu.
Get it out.
Look, I'm not saying Mando and Grogu is a better movie because it isn't taking these huge narrative risks or that The Last Jedi did. And it's, you know, it's fun and cute and, you know, whatever. But I had a much better time watching it. And sure, everyone can be all high art and cinema and blah, blah, blah. It's Star Wars should die. But what's the point of cinema if not to feel something? And if you can walk away from an experience going, that has made me feel better about my life, I think that's great.
I think also something that people often forget and are actively forgetting in this, and I don't know how, but they are, is that Star Wars, it's children's movies.
Yeah, it's a kid's movie.
This is a kid's movie for kids.
Yeah.
We're all grown-ups,
Yeah.
and it's nice that we can enjoy it too. We're actually not the intended audience.
No. But, and like Star Wars as a universe, it's a universe I love to be in. And that's why something like Andor is great.
Yeah.
Because
That's for us.
It's an adult show.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is for a mature audience. And this is going to reflect our real world. Whereas this movie this isn't going to reflect any part of your world.
Like, it's a father-son.
Space opera.
Yeah.
In Western in space with a father and his adopted green magic baby. It's just nice to go to a movie and enjoy it and not have to go whatever. Like, technically, it's really well made too.
Yeah.
Gee, it's not like The Dark Knight where you see the camera crew 3 times. I love The Dark Knight. I think it's fantastic. It's obviously like one of Chris Nolan's best movies. I love it. And we're going to rewatch it together at some point, aren't we?
This is news to me, but sure.
No, it's on our watch list.
Okay.
You said you wanted to watch it.
I have no memory of that conversation, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
No. And it's great, but you do see the camera crew 3 times. At least you don't see a bloody boom mic in
Is
this.
it 3 times?
It's at least twice. I may have added an extra one on his GST. Now, you see them in the helicopter shot at the beginning.
Yep.
And then you see in the interrogation scene, you see the camera crew again in the reflections of the mirrors, which obviously was going to happen on that set. But
Well,
I don't know why they weren't going through the footage with the fine-tooth comb.
like, I would argue that the Mandalorian is a walking mirror.
He is. And actually, there's some lovely shots, especially with Sigourney Weaver at the beginning, where it's clear
where you
they've
can see her.
You can see her in his reflection and you can't see the camera crew. There's a couple of times when you're like, oh, that's a studio light, I think, in his reflection. But, like, also the guy's metal. So, like, and you can put that off to, oh, that's a light in the Hutt's house.
Yeah.
That
They
they've
would
left
have
on.
lights
It's a
in their
lamp.
house. It's just a little lamp.
It's just a lamp. Huts are cool. Cool
Yeah.
to see them fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, probably my favorite sequence in it was the gladiator
The
pit.
pit. Yeah. Although
With the Jajaric table as a lovely reference to A New Hope.
it was the exact same plot line as Gladiator 2.
The movie.
Yes.
Oh, like you mean Rotta's journey?
No, the scene where Din goes into the gladiator pit
Oh,
and
yeah.
like has to fight he wakes up, he has to walk out into the Colosseum, he has to fight Rotta, he surrenders. It's the exact same plot line.
Yeah. Do you think
As-
they got Paul Mescal in the suit?
Yeah, maybe Paul Mescal was Rotta the Hutt.
No, actually, he was the big ape one. Yeah, so my downfall of the movie is just that first act on Chikari is slow. Like, it has an awesome prologue and it's all guns blazing, and then it just, like, takes a real handbrake for some fetch questing. And
Which, can I argue, because I've seen people complaining about that also.
as the movie is a side quest, I've seen that comment.
No, just about like the way that Din, like the fetch questing thing,
Yes,
that's like the show.
it is the show. Absolutely. I just feel like they needed to cut to the chase a bit quicker because we all knew where it was going.
Yeah.
Mando was going to get into the pit.
Yeah.
We knew that's where it was going to end. As soon as we saw Lord Goulash, what was his name?
It wasn't that.
Lord Nuance?
No.
Lord someone.
I'm not sure of his
the
name.
Imperial officer who the head of this planet that turns out to be the imp. It was very obvious he was going to be the imp.
Well, he was
He was a white British guy.
No, but he was in one of the clips that came out.
Oh, was he? I didn't even see that. But wasn't he in the show before? Wasn't he in that? No, wasn't he in that round table in season 3 with Moff Gideon? Because that other guy was at the beginning.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we've seen this bald guy before.
It's possible.
But anyway, he walked on screen. I went, well, that's the Imperial officer.
Janu,
well done. Janu, Lord Janu, Coin, Lord Janu Coin. Yeah, it was obvious that he was the imp. So the fact that Mando didn't go, hang on a minute.
I'm sorry. No, hang on. No.
What?
What do you mean the fact that Mando didn't go, hang on a minute? He never goes, hang on a minute.
Oh, I know.
He's
but
never hung on a minute.
But like, he has been doing nothing but hunting down Imperial officers. He would have noticed a pattern. Surely even him would have noticed a pattern and gone, this guy sounds and looks exactly like an Imperial officer. I'm not going to question it. You know what I mean?
I genuinely don't think it occurred to him.
They've made Mando so dumb that I don't even question it. But Grogu was there.
Yeah, but Grogu can't speak English. Grogu probably was like, oh
Why
my gosh,
he tucking his cape or something?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I would like to discuss his inadequate security setup at his house.
Janu?
No, Mando.
Oh, Mando's house. Yes. So Mando's little house on Navarro. His security system is 2 blurgs and a shutter screen system that isn't like centrally controlled from one button. He has to go around
manual.
to each window and press a button to close the window.
I do appreciate that he had a little tiny escape tunnel for Grogu, and I would love to know how he dug that.
I read it as it was just like a water grate. Like it was just like it built into the house for like an irrigation system.
Oh. No, I felt like he put it there.
Yeah, well, Grogu, I imagine, dug it out. Maybe he got him a tiny shovel or something.
Maybe
the Anzellans did it.
Maybe.
They're about Grogu-sized.
They are.
I will say my favorite, probably the best sequence in the film is the Grogu suit-up sequence.
The most adorable, hilarious thing
is him
I've ever seen.
Pulling on the armor strap to tighten his dinner plate, his Mudhorn dinner plate.
I love his Mudhorn dinner plate.
And then the cut with the Anzellans, they go to their little ship.
But what about him putting the little bomb in his little pouch?
Yeah. Oh, I take a thermal detonator. Really cute stuff. And like, that puppet is magic.
He's magic.
Yeah. And that is, I think the essence of Star Wars that they've really captured with him. And look, that character is like, the two of them have given a rebirth to the brand at its lowest point.
Yes.
2019. And, this is, I don't know what other Star Wars content is being released soon. So we've got Ahsoka Series 2, which is coming either this year or next year. Mm-hmm. We have Starfighter, which is the big movie for next year with Ryan Gosling.
I'm so excited.
Starfighter will be fun. And Ryan's great. And is it Sean Levy?
I think so,
Yeah, that's directed it. The Taika thing is still happening apparently. Uh-huh. There's still a few projects in the works that are apparently happening.
This, I think they're wanting a trilogy out of this.
Oh, you think?
I think so.
They they keep talking about the next chapter, and I guess they will see how this movie does to see if they're just going to go back to the TV show. The Mandalorian and Grogu and Anzellans is what they'll have to call it.
The show?
The show, yeah. Because it'd be a bit silly if they just did Mando season 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like The Mandalorian as a show is like done. They wrapped it with the 3 trilogies. The 3 trilogy of seasons, sorry. And then this movie is very much the next chapter and opens up. The characters have a huge future ahead of them. But we'll go into that. Also, we watched this month Maul.
Yes.
I loved Maul.
Okay. I feel like third favorite Star Wars TV show for me.
Third favorite Star Wars TV show. So Mando is your first.
Yep.
Second is Andor.
Yep.
And then yeah. I think that's really good.
So good.
It just tight and like not an inch of fat on it. Like I really liked Bad Batch.
Yep.
But, there was a bit waffly. Like, even some early seasons of the Clone Wars, there were bangers of stories and arcs in the midst of, like, a bit of a poo filler episode.
And the Clone Wars is quite overwhelming. Like, there's so much of it.
There is so much of it that you sort of feel, it can be a little insurmountable. But, like, the last season of the Clone Wars, as great as it is, still has those middle episodes of just the Bad Batch prologue episodes, and also Ahsoka with those two women in Coruscant in the garage. So, and as amazing as a final season it is, it's still got filler. You know what I mean? Maul has not a sliver of fat on it. It is just tight and perfectly executed. Yeah. And yes, obviously spoiler alert for Maul, it does have fan service. Bloody Vader rocks up at the end and tears shop, but he doesn't say a word. And I feel it's really cool for the story.
Yeah, it fit. It didn't really feel like fan service.
No, it just was like, we need to, as a story, we need to give the biggest threat to Maul possible, because he can hold off the Inquisitors reasonably easily. He is that skilled, and they injure him throughout the show to make him weaker. And Sam Witwer obviously has talked a lot about Vader versus Maul. And he says, like, Maul has had to learn how to use his, because he's half, it's a 50-50 split. And his strength comes from his agility and his speed.
Yes.
And so the cybernetics and the robotics would be actively hampering that.
Yeah.
And making things harder for him. Whereas Vader, Sam Witwer said this, he's got pretty expensive kit.
Yeah.
Like, it's the best that money can buy, Vader's stuff. Also, he's using it in a way to enhance his strength and his physical brute force. And it's built into him rather than it replacing half of him.
Yeah.
So the cybernetics are helping Vader, whereas they're working against Maul.
Yes.
So from a fighting standpoint, really interesting. Also, Maul is really interesting. And they really, really lent into him being this very neutral party. He's got his own agenda, but goes by logic to get what he wants. And, like, his goals align with the quote unquote good guys for the whole time, right until the very end, where it's like,
and his hand is actually forced.
Yeah, by Vader, really, and the Inquisitors. He's like, there's not a way out of this. Let's go. Like, keeping the Jedi Master alive for the whole time would have served him.
Yes.
And what's interesting as well is that it very much is everyone is grey. There are Jedi and there are Sith, and there's sort of the bounty hunter mercenary grey area of Star Wars.
And there's civilians as well.
Oh, and then they're normal people, And then Maul, who is true neutral. But it sort of is like, even the good guys, the Jedi, are doing things that are not great because they are going their own way about it. The Sith and the Empire, they're doing their own things and they're not great. The civilians are... What I love is that, like, very much like Andor, everyone is grey. And it's much more complex and nuanced. And visually, Maul just looks amazing as a show. The watercolor background thing, the lightsabers, the fight choreography is insane.
Yeah.
Anyway, Maul was fantastic. And look, I mean, I loved Mandalorian and Grogu, but they're two very different things. And what I loved about Maul was that it did allow for a little bit of fan service. So as a Star Wars month, I feel we've been really, I guess lucky. We've had a really good month.
Yeah, we've had a nice time.
Yeah. So in terms of things coming up for Star Wars, we've also, in terms of spoiling Star Wars, they had the first 10 minutes of Mando and Grogu available to watch in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Like, the first 10 minutes of the movie, you go to an island and watch the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, 10 minutes of the movie?
They are so desperate to get people to see this movie.
And look, I hope everyone, I hope people go to it and people have fun with it. like, again, look, it's not going to change any lives. But, I think there are 8-year-olds and 8 to 12-year-olds who will go to it and go, that was so much fun. And it'll become a nostalgic thing for them. And they use it is nice to see a lot of practical filmmaking. Obviously, the huts are largely CGI.
Yeah.
But like things like Embo was, he looked almost digitally replaced in the movie, but there was a live guy on set in costume.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure
it was
what happened
difficult
there.
because a lot of his scenes were like in the rain.
In the
and that
dark
kind of thing.
and the lighting. Look, there's some fantastic CGI in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, there was a lot of practical
the-
filmmaking, clearly.
The practical filmmaking is what sets it apart, I think.
With the puppets,
Yeah.
especially. Like the Anzellans and Grogu, like there's a lot with them. Like there's probably like 45 minutes with just them. And they're great.
Yeah.
And it's funny and like it's also funny, the movie.
Yeah, it's
But
funny.
I think it needs 10 to 15 minutes chopped off that first act. And it would have been really, really tight. But I enjoyed it. And that's all I wanted.
Yeah.
Look, for those playing along at home, I've had a crazy week. May has just been awful in terms of, and it's been awful for you as well in terms of busyness and everything and just life things. And for me, it was a really nice way to end it.
Yeah.
So we want to thank everyone for joining us. Did you have any last thoughts that you wanted to say about Mando and Grogu?
I actually have one other thing.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about Grogu's character
Yes.
because I really like the way that so like a lot of this movie is about how up until this point, really, largely Din has been protecting Grogu and Grogu's been a baby.
Yes. The young protect the old and the old protect the young. Oh, sorry. The old protect the young and the young protect the old.
It was worse the second time, but it was pretty bad the first time.
How rude. How rude.
I think what you did was rude. Anyway, but like it's no secret that this is really about like Grogu kind of coming into his own.
Yes.
And obviously there's like a whole extended sequence where Grogu, like Din is completely incapacitated for like a large portion of the movie in a couple of different ways. And Grogu has to like
Emotionally.
no, like literally.
No, I know. I was making a joke.
And Grogu has to like figure it out himself.
Yes.
And I really like the way that Grogu is wise. Like I like the way that they meld his wisdom with like the fact of him being a small child as well.
Yeah. It's an interesting point. And one thing I took away from it, and what was nice that there was not a lick of John Williams and that was just Ludwig Göransson's score.
Which we haven't talked about at all, but it was sick.
Oh, it was amazing. And like, what can you say? Ludwig's great. And the stuff is amazing. What I had another thought about the music is that although there wasn't a lick of John Williams, it was very Star Wars and his use of hero themes was very John Williams.
Yeah.
So like in the opening, for instance, there's a few, while you see silhouettes of Mando and like building up to his big reveal and there's little licks of the theme and stuff that you're hearing in the score and then he appears and it's the big ba 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 ba, you know, like basically gets that as he enters. And then when Grogu comes on, it's like the foundling
It's his
theme.
little, yeah.
And it was awesome because we all saw that shot in the trailers, but with the music.
Yeah.
Adds so much, and I didn't actually realize that Grogu really had a theme.
Yeah, he does.
Until that, I'm like, oh, of course, that's his
Yeah.
theme. It's the child theme.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, oh, that's great. And it was lovely to have that musically. And I'm like, yeah, it's great. And the main theme is great. Everyone is going nuts as well about the bloody, like, jazzy version. That
Everyone's obsessed about it.
about the one they chuck at the end of the movie. Is it in the movie?
I believe it's also. I only
playing
think
in the background of something?
I only think this because in the soundtrack album, it's like the third track.
Oh.
So I think it must be playing diegetically earlier in the film.
Yeah. Look, I want to have a proper rewatch of it, a bit of a breakdown, because I want to look at those effects again and be like, what have they done here? Obviously, the droids are all CGI, and there's a lot of like. One thing they didn't even really go into in the movie, but they're just sort of there, are all these broken down like battle droids and like reconfigured.
Yeah, that
droids.
was really cool. Didn't even make a single racist remark about them.
No, I think they were like after IG-11. or 13 or whatever model he was. He's really settled down about the whole droid thing.
Yeah.
It would be nice though if they had, for me, just a little thing, they had like a little like droid smith character, like a little dude who was like, or they had some enslaved Anzellans who were, because they're droid smiths and they're making the droids
Or Ugnaughts.
or something like little, like that would have been and I'm sure that actually in the plot. That is a thing, and that's exactly what the Hutts are doing. They've got these little slaves that are making all these droids and refitting all these old
They would
Clone
have
Wars
the
droids.
The Hutts are slavers.
Well, exactly, and there are all these droids, and they would need droid smiths to make them. So that would have been nice to have a little. I'm not talking like an egregious scene or a monologue, like one of bloody Rotter the Hutt's monologues at the beginning. Oh, I'm not my father. I'm a Hutt. That's basically the first 10 minutes of the movie. That's what's available on Fortnite, folks. Yeah, I thought that would have been nice, but hey, I'm sure there'll be a bloody comic about it or something. Do you have any other thoughts while we're here?
I also thought the stunts
Were great.
were great. And
Yep.
I think that, like, the choice of being like, yeah, we're going to do this whole entire underwater fight scene and he has to have his helmet off. Like, it has to be him. Like, that was a bold choice.
Bold choice.
In terms of filmmaking, like, that makes it really hard to have to use your actor and not a stunt performer for that kind of sequence is bold and difficult and inconvenient.
Bold and beautiful.
And expensive, probably.
We're also going to talk a bit about merch. But one thing we forgot to mention, we're talking about Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder. They are third and fourth build in the movie. Jeremy Allen White is second build underneath Pedro, but they're third and fourth build,
In the
which is
opening,
so nice.
in the opening credits,
Yes, in the opening credits.
in the final credits, they're second and third build.
Yeah, which is great. Which is really great. And it's obviously Sigourney Weaver. Martin Scorsese, I think, is fifth or sixth
Yeah, he
booked
is.
for his little role.
He has quite a bit to do, actually.
Yeah, he had a few good scenes,
Yeah.
and he was really good. It was actually kind of fun to have him in it.
It was really
I guess
nice.
because it's the whole popcorn cinema thing. Or
I did like that bit where he turned around and Din was in the truck.
Yeah, that was nice. I also want to talk a little bit, wrap up by talking a little bit about merch, because obviously
Okay.
they've gone ham on merch. And famously, these movies, Star Wars, even things like Doctor Who, this is where they make their money, is in merchandise. And so they're going ham on Grogu merchandise.
Of course.
So they're hot toys. So like, for instance, for those watching the video version, I've got a Mando and Grogu from season 2. It's Hot Toys Deluxe Edition. It's actually die-cast plated armor. It's really cool. For those of you who aren't seeing it, just turn into the video version to do that. They have done a new 1-to-1 scale Grogu for this movie with his dinner plate, his Mudhall dinner plate. He's got a cookie. He's got his little dart blaster. He's got a thermal detonator as well. That is going for $450
Okay.
at popculture.com.au. $450 is actually, I would say, pretty cheap for a 1-to-1 life-size, like perfect replica of Grogu.
Can he use the Force?
Like he's like a action figure, so he's not like animatronic or anything.
To be clear, Bronte, this is not the actual Grogu.
It's not actual Grogu. However, the ultimate Grogu, which is being released by Hasbro, which is a toy version but has like 300 animations or something.
Right.
He can use the Force.
Yeah.
So
The actual Force. Can he Force heal you?
he can't Force heal you, but he can move a cookie with his mind. Like if there's like magnets or something, and he puts his, like you say, hey Grogu, use the Force or something, or he can like detect the fact that there's a little cookie, and if you put it on the ground, he'll close his eyes, and go oh, and then move his head,
also,
and
when-
the cookie moves,
That's really exciting.
and that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was just going to say, he doesn't roll his eyes into the back of his head when he uses
Does
the
he not?
Force.
I thought he just. Oh.
No, he like
I'm sure he rolls
just
his eyes.
closes them.
No, he rolls his eyes
He
back.
doesn't.
Because he leans back as well. He goes, oh.
No, none of that happens.
I don't think you've watched the same movie. But this Ultimate Grogu, is upwards of $1,000 Australian.
That's insane.
And it's like, and the ads were like for cosplayers and so forth.
That's
It
not even for
moves.
cosplayers. I don't know who that's for.
I don't know. On Instagram, you're seeing a lot of, that stupid trend. It's funny and whatever, but it's that stupid trend of some poor casual salesperson at a movie theater going, "What movie are you about to see?" And then it pans and it's somebody dressed as the Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
Or as Ryan Gosling in Project Hail Mary. It's,
Okay.
it's that thing.
Yeah.
That thing. There was one and he had the Hot Toys one and it looks perfect. He's not moving.
Yeah.
But you go, well, that's Grogu. Anyway, I am very tempted by that Grogu. But
The $1,000 Grogu.
not the $1,000 one, the $400 one.
Oh.
Anyway, I don't have money for it, but you know what I mean?
Like, I'm not a collector.
Yeah. But having a Grogu, like a proper Grogu, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be tempted by the helmet as well, like a Mando helmet.
I feel like that has more practical uses.
Where you can put it on.
Yeah.
Sorry, you don't think having a Grogu around... Can I confirm... Like, this might be a bit revealing, and I'm happy to cut this if you're... What the hell? We watch a lot of TV. We watched all 3 seasons of Mando, for instance, like, on broadcast. Most of that time, you were clutching a Grogu toy.
Yeah, but I feel like... Yeah,
the little plushy one that makes
not
noise
a
that goes...
$400
"Patu,
Grogu.
patu."
Like, in my brain, there's a bar,
Yeah.
and $450 is above the bar. I
Of
love to
what
hold...
clutching? You can
Yeah.
hold him.
Yeah, but I can hold the one that I have, which...
You're not going to break him by holding him. You're
No,
not
no.
throwing him across the room.
No, I'm not concerned about breaking him. I just already have one.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Look, anyway, I'm thinking about it. But also I want the helmet. I want a Mando helmet. Yeah.
Does it have a voice, like a vocoder inside?
I know the Black Series one, which Adam Savage did on his YouTube channel. He did a review of it, and because he had I think he had like a fiberglass one made from the original cast
Right.
that they used for it, and it's like like a 1-to-1 scale, near perfect replica. And the Black Series one is very close, like imperceptibly close, because he had the spray paint of the exact silver color. And did it, and the difference is negligible. What it does have actually is internal details.
Oh.
Like Star Wars-y details, like Star Wars foam and stuff. And I think it has the light maybe on the side.
that's a
on
cool
the side.
feature.
So it's got some cool stuff. It legitimately is cool. So I'll look into the Mando helmet. We've got a little Mando shelf, and it's got the Lego Razor Crest, the Lego N1 Starfighter, and a Grogu I 3D printed. Years ago. It must have been when it came
It
out.
must have been for the first season.
Yeah, and it's pretty good. I sewed a little outfit as well for him, and it's pretty good. But anyway, if I make any unreasonable purchases, I will of course put it on the podcast. What are we going to be talking about next? So thank you, Bronte, for joining us.
Thanks
First of
for
all.
having me.
And it's always a joy and a pleasure, and it's been lots of fun to talk about Star Wars and The Mandalorian and Grogu. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Got some exciting things coming up, just to advertise what's coming up next on the podcast.
Sure.
Some people may think that I don't decide what I'm going to be talking about until the day of recording,
Some people being me.
and some people being me. That is true for some weeks, but actually we've got some great stuff coming up along the pipeline. The new Bond game, 007 First Light, is dropping this week on Wednesday, I believe. So I'm going to be doing some stuff in that because I'm a big fan of Bond games. And, James Bond as a franchise, as problematic as it is, does a lot for me. And so we'll be talking a bit about that. And it'd be interesting to play a Bond game in 2026 and to see how they deal with all of that. And the other thing as well is that Charlotte, my friend Charlotte, is going to be making her debut appearance on the podcast. And we are going to be watching. So there'll be a live commentary available on the Patreon. And then we're going to do a review of it. The Doctor Who TV movie from 1996 is getting a 30th anniversary re-release. New 4K restoration from the original film negatives. From the original
Amazing.
film reel. So it is going to look unbelievable to actually see that in a resolution quality higher than a potato is going to be amazing. The thing about that film is that the production design is unbelievable and the cinematography is great. It is some of the best looking Doctor Who ever. I think it looks better than the Disney stuff, quite honestly, that movie. That TARDIS set, seeing it in 4K, it's going to be so great. So we're going to have a live commentary on the Patreon, and then Charlie and I are going to talk about it. But until then, have a great week, everyone.